Musashi Nakamura. I was about 13 years old at the time, and that was my first formal, you know, I have a regiment, I'm there 5 days a week, you know, bowing in, testing the belts. That was the first formal martial art practice. This was with Nakamura Sensei.
Now, what system of martial arts?
Seido Karate.
Now, for our viewers, again, Nakamura Sensei was Masoyama. Again, some of you are familiar with our previous episodes with Alexei Masoyama and the Kyokushin system. Nakamura Sensei was his original rep for the New York area for Kyokushin. Unfortunately, they later had a falling out, and then Nakamura would then go on to formulate the Seido system of martial arts. And I grew up on watching Wide World of Sports and Oriental World of Self-Defense with Nakamura doing his defenses with Tonfa against Joe and some of his brick and rock breaking as well. So what was training like back then? I mean, you know, the whole Seido lineage from Kyokushin, that's a pretty rough style. What was it like?
It was rough, to say the least. It was very much about full contact, bare knuckle. Even at the young age, you know, they threw you in there with the lions. You know, there was no, oh, he's a little kid. There was, you did the knuckle push-ups, you know, we used to walk up and down the dojo on our knuckles, and people used to hold our legs. There was a lot of that stuff, hitting with the shinai, hitting with bamboo. A lot of knuckle conditioning with the makiwaras and stuff like that. A lot of kumite, a lot of kumite. We fought every night. There was an hour every night.
Now, how long were you involved in the Seido system?
I stopped training Seido when I was about 20, I want to say 23, 26, in that age range.
Now, again, the second art that you were involved in, correct me if I'm wrong, you got involved in Ryukyu Kenpo.
Yes.
With Mark Klein?
Yes.
Tell us about that, how you get involved in that.
The way that happened actually was I had moved back to New Jersey. And when I moved back to New Jersey, the distance between Seido and me was just too much. Because I was teaching and working at Seido as the desk manager, the office manager. So I actually applied for a job at Kaizen Martial Arts, where Klein was. So Klein's thing was, obviously, you can't teach in the school without learning his system. So I applied for the job. The way the first interview went was just a conversation. The second interview was he wanted to see what I had. So let me see you move, let me see what you know, let me see what you got. And then the third interview was an entire class with just him and I. And then from there, he called me back and said, you know what, we're going to hire you on. I like your attitude. So what we would do is we would have private lessons in the morning. So that way, I would slowly and surely get accustomed to the system. The way he explained it to me, and it makes sense. You know, you have to be at least 2 belt levels above whoever you're teaching, if it's a white belt, etc. So that's the way he got me acclimated into the system. It was private lessons. I would usually get in around 9, and we worked together from 9 to 12. Take a lunch break, and then from there I would teach an autistic child that we had. I would teach him, and then I would do the regular classes, the kids classes and stuff like that. He would take over with the adults.
Now, again, Mark Klein is not only known for, George Newman's Ryukyu Kenpo, but also he's worked with Professor Priestess, who was one of my instructors in Modern Chinese, and also with in relationship to the Kyusho.
Yes, Kyusho is.
What was it like working in that particular system? How different the comparison with you doing in Seido?
It was amazing because what he opened up for me was a whole can of worms, a whole new world. Because at Seido, we never really learned too much bunkai. You know, we did kata, but it was more about kumite, bare knuckle stuff. So with his system, it was about learning the what, the when, the where, the why. So he was the one that really broke down the applications for the movements. Showed me how there's a lot of tuite and locking involved in karate kata that a lot of people don't see and are not exposed to. So that was beautiful. The Arnis helped me a lot with fluidity because it was Seido was very rigid in comparison. So it helped me with my fluidity. Same thing with the small circle jiu-jitsu we did because he also has a black belt Molly J. And then we also did some Wing Chun stuff. And that was amazing. And it was the same thing, it was just helping me get loose and not be so stiff. As he said, the scariest thing for a big guy is to be fast and fluid. So if you're big and you're fast and fluid, you're dangerous. And that's what he wanted to do for me. That's what he was able to do for me, was give me that. And it was a beautiful experience. And the fun thing about the Kyusho was learning how simple it is to really apply this pain and blocks on people when you need it. You know, you really don't, it doesn't take much. And I remember when I first saw it, I said to myself, oh, I've been in so many full contact situations. That's not going to work. Until he knocked me out. He knocked me out with it, and it was amazing. And he barely touched me. And I just remember waking up, and all the parents and the kids were looking at me. And you know, I was the uke, you know, because I was big, bigger than him. She said, let me show you how this big guy can go to sleep. Tap, tap, and I'm on the floor. Next thing you know, I'm waking up. I'm like, whoa. And it just opened my eyes to so much. So I'm really indebted to him for a lot of that.
Excellent. Now, again, another portion in your training, again, which I'm familiar with through gentleman Leon Major. How did you get involved in Nindo-Ryu?
Nindo-Ryu. The way I got involved with Nindo-Ryu was actually from Leon Major and I were Hanshi Leon Major and I were friends on MySpace originally. And I was supposed to go by his dojo, and I never got out there. You know, I was working 2 jobs, and I was doing Seido. I had so much going on, I never got the chance to go out there. We met each other originally in, I want to say, 2001, online. And then we found each other again on Facebook, and I posted a picture of a belt. He's like, hey, that's a cool belt. What's your rank? So from there, we just started talking about our other belts and everything, and he said, hey, you know, I'd like to extend an invitation for you to come to my school again. And, you know, just check it out, you know, see what we do. And he explained to me about what some of the things Nindo-Ryu stood for, what they were, and how Nindo-Ryu isn't about looking a certain way. You don't have to be a fitness model to be a martial arts instructor. You know, it's about what you have in here and what you have in here. Being healthy is important, but at the same time, you shouldn't show prejudice about the way someone looks. And I was at a lot of dojos where they would look at me, you know, I'm not the slimmest guy, and I've always had size issues growing up, down, no matter what I did. I would always go up and down in weight. So people would tell me, how can you teach martial arts looking like that? That's what the instructors would say to me. And I said, well, I'm looking to teach someone to defend themselves. That's all I need to do. You know, I need to teach somebody self-defense, and that's what they used to tell me. You can't. So Hanshi Major was very reassuring, and you're not going to be the biggest guy in the world, I'll tell you that. So I came out to his dojo, and it was amazing. It was amazing. He came open arms. He wasn't condescending. He wasn't arrogant. He taught me so much just that first class. And it was originally, the first class was a Bujutsu class. And it was, we were working on bow and side. I'll never forget it. And from that day on, I said, I'm sticking with this. And I told him, you know, I want to come under your wing. You know, what do we have to do? What do I have to do? And he put the wheels in motion. You know, he spoke to Sensei Fabrice about me, and we took it from there. And every Saturday, no joke, for 5 hours, we trained. Every Saturday for 5 hours. I'd get there really early in the morning, take 3 buses to get there from the Bronx, go over there, rain, sleet, snow. I mean, I would have to shovel our way into the dojo before we could train sometimes. You know, very formal. It was a way for me to humble myself, because, you know, you have experience and you think you're this big tough guy, and then it takes someone to just teach you. There's so much more to learn, and that's what he did for me. He opened up a new world, and I love him. I'm indebted to him forever for it. You know, I always give my little shout outs on Facebook, and he's always the one I always shout out to Hanshi Major for making me who I am. You know, if anyone sees what I do and they like what I do, I give most of my credit to my jiu-jitsu friend. He is, to me, my jiu-jitsu instructor. He took me to that level, and I'm grateful for it. And he's just amazing. And from there, he would just introduce me to other instructors like yourself and Pereira Sensei. I remember he brought me up and he was like, you know, you got to check out this kid, Nacho. You got to check out this kid. I want to show you some stuff that we've been working on. And Pereira Sensei really liked me. He took me as a student. And then I was lucky enough to meet Sensei Fabrice in the seminar. And he opened his heart and his home to me. And it went the same way. You know, we would have these long conversations on the phone, online, in person. And it was just an learning experience for me. Every time he'd open his mouth, he'd call me like, this is master class 101. Got a pad? And just give me advice, you know, on things that I was going through, because they were the first organization to actually recognize Shishikan as a system. So I had no backing originally. I just put it together, and I didn't even know I had to get it recognized. I just thought I could do this, put it together and teach. And then I learned through proper channels, you have to have a backing. You know, it helps to have a backing, have people help you out and be there for you. And Nindo-Ryu is the backbone that they're there for.
For our viewers, Nindo-Ryu, again, the style of the way of endurance and perseverance. I was very fortunate to work in the early days with Sensei Carlos Febres, and when he transferred originally from his home in Puerto Rico here to the United States in New Bedford, Massachusetts, and with them for many, many years, and very diversified organization, very open-minded organization, really a great group of people to deal with.